drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were looking at your phone while driving, let me say it again. Seriously, put down your phone. That is so unsafe. If you didn't do stuff like use your phone while driving, you could save money with Progressive Snapshot, but saving or not, just put it down. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't looking at your phone, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
Today on Hey Culligan, soft water, cleaner environment. What do you say, Greg?
Hey Culligan, are you saying if I have a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, I'm also helping the environment?
It sounds like you're saying it, Greg, and yes, you are, because with the Culligan high-efficiency water softener, you'll use less detergent, soap, and harsh chemicals, and that's good for the planet.
Now you're saying it.
You bet I am, Greg. Soft water and a cleaner environment is already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Spring into savings all month and spring out of that car you hate at Matt Blatt Kia in Egg Harbor Township or Toms River. We'll take any trade, any make, any condition, even if you're stuck in a loan or lease. Matt Blatt Kia can get you released. Do you have a job? Do you clear $350 per week? You could be approved with 0 down and low interest rate financing on every clearly marked new Kia in stock. And remember, we have new Kias arriving daily. Just because you don't see it on the lot doesn't mean you can't be driving your new Kia home tomorrow. So bring any trade to Matt Blatt Kia, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And don't forget, you can't make a mistake with our 4-day love it or leave it return policy.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
Offers with approved credit through Kia Motors Finance. Not all will qualify. Go to mattblattkiamj.com for complete details. Expires 5/8/2022. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township. And now on Route 37 in Toms River.
South Jersey's play-by-play home for the Eagles,
Touchdown!
Sixers, and Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station.
The following program is paid for, and the opinions expressed are not those of Town Square Media or station advertisers.
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Get me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, and Mike Carlin. It's great to be in the neighborhood. It's a great Sunday morning.
Why don't you get it out of the way?
We're all together.
So it shall be written.
There you go.
So it shall be done.
So Billy watches the 10 Commandments last night. You know, it's funny how
Will Brenner.
different houses are different. Yeah, what, Charlton Heston? I thought you would have gone to Charlton Heston first.
He's the one that says, so it shall be written.
But Charlton,
so it shall be done.
Yeah, Charlton Heston is a member of your club, you know, the R Club. But anyhow, I digress. Yeah, in my house, my girl was upset because she's like, isn't Action News on? No, honey. Well, why not? It starts at 11:44. 11:44? What kind of time is that? I go, the 10 Commandments is on. And you know what her answer was?
What?
I hate that movie.
Oh, my God. Really? That's a classic.
It is a classic.
It's a
long.
classic,
it's long.
but it's
long.
Think about the
It's classic.
context. First of all, the movie came out in 1956.
Right.
All right. So my thought is that she probably, this was like living history.
It's
like
in color.
her parents, I'm not saying it's black and white. I'm saying that her parents probably made her sit down and watch it. Like, all right, all three of you kids, you got to come here and you got to watch every minute of this.
I couldn't.
And I'm sorry, like a 3-hour movie.
Well, here's the deal.
Ooh.
So I on the way home, I had to go in after yesterday's show. I had to go in and saw Joe Pop, Mike.
How's he doing?
I had lunch with Joe Randazzo.
Nice.
You know, I had that lobster biscuit is the best lobster biscuit in the world.
I've been telling you.
And I had that cheesesteak wrap. I'm telling you, it was to die for. He puts those habanero.
Did you eat in the VIP area or were you?
Joe Pop and Mary Ann sat with me. They're great people.
They have their own table.
They are. I have their own table.
They invite you to their table.
But the food is
That's the Italian way.
That cheesesteak wrap was so thick, and it had the just a perfect amount of habanero, so it didn't burn your head.
Doesn't
off.
kill you.
Right? Doesn't kill you. And it gives you a little. And then on the way home, I listened to the.
Do you want to put your mouth anywhere near the microphone? Maybe
I put the. Come on. He's starting on me. I got a feeling.
2 hours.
Pete and I are going to drop the gloves.
2 hours.
All right, 2 hours.
I'm sorry, you're on the radio.
I don't know how Susan takes it.
I can't hear you.
Right, listen. So on the way home, I listened to 97.3 ESPN, the Sixers call, Tom McGinnis. So I listened to the Sixers game on the radio, right, because I was in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Watched the whole entire Phillies game.
All right.
And by 7 o'clock, the Flyers get off to a 2-0 lead, and I'm cool. But then I start flicking the channel.
Right.
And then the Flyers go in the tank.
They totally went in the
tank.
tank.
So I just went completely to So It Shall Be Written.
Yeah, so it shall be written. Yeah, okay. I'm glad
Flyers,
that you enjoyed
so
that.
I watched the 10 Commandments.
Well, that sounds like a great, and I saw social media people, and Mike Gill wished he had done it too.
Right, he said he was going to all
he
3
was
games.
at the same banquet that I was at. It was the CO banquet last night, which CO stands for coaches and officials, and that was their 2022 summit. And so I was very honored. They gave me an award, and I was very,
Is that why he has a chip on his shoulder?
Who, me?
Yeah.
He
got an attitude to that.
I'm a lifetime achiever. No, it was the John Perentazi Lifetime Achievement Award. And I don't know if you guys know. Well, first of all, he passed away, so let's not make fun of him. Second of all, the guy was around for like 49 years as one of the top basketball officials in the state. I mean, he was a legend, and all the awards were nice last night. And Mike Gill was there to support me. No, he was there to support Doug Stasek. And Doug got the Cal Award, which Doug, of course, does BFA Productions and stuff. Right. So the emotional moment, and you guys will both know this, is that Paul Rodeo was given the Frank Egan Memorial Courage Award. And you know Paul Rodeo is the longtime coach of St. Augustine. Did you both know that he went through some very serious health issues and almost did not make it to the basketball season? And so, Johnny Rodeo, his brother, is on the head of the committee for this banquet. And then, you got other people like Steve Westcott, Mark Ronchetti, and Susie Westcott, and Steve Selby. But it's really kind of a cool dinner, Billy, and nobody does this. Like, you could take your Collingswood and your Camden County, you could take all that. Nobody does this, where at the end of the season, the coaches and the officials sit down, hand out awards, give scholarship money, and break bread. And it's, it's funny. One of the intros, like, they have these Johnny Awards, which are kind of gag awards, right? One of the intros that they gave was to an official who was at a game at Wildwood, and he threw out, he gets a call the next day, and he goes, well, what happened? Because Johnny's the assigner. And he says, he threw out the assistant superintendent, the deputy mayor, the fire chief. Like, it was like 7. And he goes, he threw out 7 people, and they go, no, it's all the same guy. And I think that's the spirit of the night.
So we got a great show, a busy show lined up today, because we're going to be talking with Tommy Greene, our On the Mound segment, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf Specific Fitness.
And by the way, I thought about it. That's the only reason you beat me at the locker room challenge.
Well, duh.
Because you go to Aaron Bada's.
I mean, come on. He's got state-of-the-art golf simulators. He's got TrackMan, Foresight technology. The biggest thing that Aaron has is Aaron. Okay, Aaron both can be the physical trainer to like understand, like, this muscle goes with this and this connects with this, but he also has, like, he passed the PAT, and he's got the golfing technology and wherewithal to be like, this connects to this, and you're off playing in this. And I mean, look, he's already helped me out, and I stink. So
he did. All right, and so Tommy Greene will be with us throughout the entire baseball season.
That's big.
To lend us his expertise.
Inside scoop.
Yeah, to talk about the Phillies, and we're going to get into the Phillies because I'm telling you, a couple of cool things. Couple cool Twib notes. Remember Twib notes?
Yeah, this week in baseball.
This week in baseball.
Yeah.
And then the Sixers played, Carlin, and you come in here today, doom and gloom.
As he should be. They got real problems, Billy.
I know, but I'm not that bad.
You get one cup of Indiana Pacers Kool-Aid, you think they're going to win the title?
Well, according to some people, including the coach Doc Rivers, they're going to be able to hit the switch when they get to the playoffs.
No.
I got a good question. I'll put it out now just to the two of you.
Right.
And I'm going to give the next break, we'll get an answer. If you had to pick coaches right now that are ahead of him in standings, so you have Milwaukee, you have Boston, and you got Miami.
Right.
Where does Doc Rivers fit in as coaches? Who would you take? Would Doc be number one in your list?
No, I don't think Doc.
Three.
No,
that's an easy one.
I would-
Three.
say,
I'd go Spoelstra first.
Spoelstra
The
for
Boston
Miami.
guy. Yeah,
No, I like Miami.
that's
That's
Spoelstra.
Spoelstra. He's
Right,
number
right,
one.
right,
Yeah,
right,
he's
right,
number
right,
one in my
right,
book.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's an I'll knock that right back at the.
We'll have enough time to talk about Sixers, but
And then
we got
of course the Flyers, but they're coming. Their season's winding down. 2-0 lead, Pete, and they blow it.
Same old story, same old place. You know what I mean? Look, they had the Lou Nolan bounce. 50 years of Lou Nolan. They finally honored him, you know, and they went on the Pico power play or whatever they did last night. And they jump out to a 2-0 lead, and then they reverted. Look, they won the first period 2-0, and then it was all Anaheim in the second 3-2. Credit the Flyers. They did score to tie it up at 3-3. However, Anaheim is the better team, and there's a reason for that. Yeah. And there you go.
So we got a lot on the docket today. I'm excited about the Phillies. We're gonna get when we.
And you haven't mentioned my shirt. I'm very insulted.
He's all ego out today.
Why don't you? So Pete, so
you can't buy this anywhere.
I could sit behind the microphone.
You watch me walk in, you knucklehead.
Listen, Pete.
Yes.
You know, you always break my stones. Why don't you tell the listeners what you sent me a picture and what did I do?
Yes, we're going to have a national guest on today, a guy named Gil Capps, who this guy has been around the game so long, Mike Carlin, and audience, that, you know, he wrote a book called The Magnificent Masters. I'm watching the warm-up to the Masters yesterday on CBS, and here's like Alan Shipnuck, who's like a national writer. Here's like, you know, big-name guys. Like there's Ian Baker Finch, you know, all professionally lit and stuff. And then I look, and there's my guy Gil Capps. Right. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I texted to Billy, and Billy goes, he looks like he's wearing lipstick. That's what Billy says. You know, I line up a national guest for the show, and the only comeback you have is
he looks like he has lipstick on.
Okay.
All right, and then Carly gets a big get because the Big Five is having their induction to their Hall of Fame on Monday. Tomorrow night.
And
you have
Bruce Lefelitz.
Lefkowitz. He's fifth all-time leading scorer in University of Pennsylvania.
When he left, when he got done playing, he was fifth. Now he's 12th. Throughout the years, you know, sometimes you drop. Right. He's still 12th. He still has many records there.
But he was their big guy.
Oh, he was a 4-year starter.
Yeah.
Every year when you see the stats, when he comes on, we'll talk about stats. You talk about a player that comes in and gets better every year. Every year, wait till you hear these stats, how they got better.
And I really enjoyed our interview with Chuck Everson.
Chuck was great.
Chuck was great. He had some great stories.
Yeah.
So,
Bruce is going to be the
so
same
Bruce
way.
will be the same way.
Now, how did you meet him, Mike Carlin? It says he was 84 to 87.
Yep.
Number 24 in your program. Yep. Led the Quakers in scoring his junior and senior seasons.
Yep.
I mean, this guy is legit.
He's legit.
1443 points during his Penn career. And I always love the Penn people because
he's got,
you know, no scholarships in the Ivy, right?
Well, I want to ask him.
How'd you meet him again? Like in a gym somewhere?
No, he's married to Harry Van Slyce's sister, Coco.
The old 6 degrees of separation.
So I've known Bruce and the family now for probably the last 10 years.
Right.
And, you know, you hear about people that play. It's like, oh, he played for Penn, and no big deal. In my mind, even though it is a big deal.
Right.
Okay. But then when I said, hey, when he said he's going in the Hall of Fame, I was like, well, you got to be pretty good to go in the Big Five Hall of Fame.
Right.
I started doing a little homework, and I was like, whoa. He led the team in this. He led the team in that. But he's this record. And then it was like, we got to get him on the show.
We'll definitely have to get him on. So we got a big
great
lineup today. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It'll be a spirited show. By the way, your good buddy John Brenner just texted me, said, "Quit breaking Pete's stones."
There you go. Way to go, Johnny.
I see Mike is breaking my
that's
stones.
Usually, yes. That was a rare moment of Billy.
Protecting you?
I don't need any protection. I'm usually giving it to you.
Shots are going over the bow on both sides here, guys. I'm in the middle.
Did he not come in today all like watered up?
Well, we're playing with Nerf darts. I mean, come on here. Like nobody's really going to get hurt.
Listen,
you know.
I will say one thing before you go on a break. Of all the things that you watched last night,
right?
I would have never in a million years thought you were going to come in and say, "Oh, I watched the 10 Commandments."
Right.
I'm telling
and
you.
then repeat the Yul Brynner line over and over again.
So it shall be done.
I mean, we did stop and watch that iconic scene of like the parting of the Red Sea. We watched that a little bit.
He's watching the whole thing.
I watched the whole thing.
Well, yeah, that's stupid. But
no, it's not. It's biblical, baby.
Yeah, well, maybe God will have a special place for you now.
He better. First hour of the locker room.
2022, man.
Or they.
Yeah. Hey, now.
Don't get me started.
Hey, now. Don't warm them up.
First hour of the locker was powered. First hour of the locker was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process. From contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good buddy Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. By the way, Pete, you informed me and showed me that Surety Title is celebrating 30 years of service.
Yeah, it's outstanding. I memean, and I love the fact that, legacy businesses are always ones to be celebrated. And when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring this in for Billy because I don't know if he knows that they're hitting their anniversary. You read those words every week, but they mean something.
They do.
Yeah.
All right. The My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house hours at a time on the road, or if you're in Florida for the winter. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll have a little Phillies talk. You listen to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, and Mike Carlin right here on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Joel beyond the arc, fakes, drive, sidestep, jam. Oh, baby, a throwdown. Rock and roll, baby.
The Sixers host the Detroit Pistons. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Philadelphia 76ers basketball on your radio home of the Sixers in South Jersey, 97.3 ESPN.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Hi, this is Mike Herron. You've heard me talk about my experiences playing football at the Naval Academy on The Locker Room with Billy Schwein. I'm here to tell you about a company with the same high level of integrity and dedication that it takes to be successful on the football field. Best Property Maintenance. When you need cleaning and janitorial services you can trust, call Best Property Maintenance. They'll take care of your property
Policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
It's Masters time, and if you haven't used PropSwap to go for the green, then you're missing out. PropSwap is the only app that allows you to pick your favorite golfers and then sell your bets whenever you want. Many prop swappers make thousands just by buying and selling their golfers all tournament long. This allows you to win over and over. Get in now while the odds are high, and then sell your tickets when the odds improve and lock in profit. Get started prop swapping today and get in on the very best way to become a winner. Prop Swap, where America buys and sells sports bets.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, Mike Carlin. By the way, if you want to check us out on the StreamYard, we're on YouTube channel, the Locker Room with Billy Schwein, and my Facebook page, Billy Schwein. PT, Mike Carlin. It's very enjoyable watching the Philadelphia Phillies win in the way they've been winning. They've been hitting the ball the other way.
Yep.
They've been
all over.
They've been patient at the plate, right? How many they've had? Like 15 batters went deep in their counts, right? 5 pitches or more. But one of the best stat that I've seen, their pitching hasn't walked anybody.
That's what I was going to say.
They have walked somebody. They walked somebody yesterday, and it was Corey Knievel in the 9th inning.
Let me rephrase it.
And in fact, when they walked somebody, that I heard Larry Anderson say, or Scott Fransky say, that's the first walk by Phillies pitching this season.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second, this season? This is already game 2. So, yeah, Kyle Gibson was the story yesterday, guys. 10 strikeouts, 7 innings, only 2 hits. He threw 82 pitches and 57 of them were for strikes. I mean, that's just as good as you're going to get. And the fact that Castellanos went right off the bat, in the bottom of the first, it's outstanding.
So Schwarber goes deep on the first at bat.
It's not Schwarber.
Schwarber, what?
You going to help him?
What did I say?
It was Nick
Schwarber. No. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
First at bat on opening day.
Oh,
Schwarber,
you went back 2 days.
Right. What I'm saying, first at bat, first
day.
Schwarber.
Yeah, in his first at bat.
Castellanos, right? Open.
Who's today?
Right?
Who's
today? And that's the beauty of this team.
Yeah. Look at the excitement of us just talking about it.
That's right.
Imagine if they got off to 0-2.
Right.
1-1. I mean, we'd already be saying, we'd have excuses for.
But here's the thing.
Now, do you guys have a problem with the fact that my father invited me to today's game, and I said yes, and then I was asking people to go, and I asked Billy if he could go, and he's got a commitment, and I was going to ask Mike Carlin if he could go, but I know that you have a commitment, you got some stuff going on.
Home. When I'm here, I'm here.
Okay, I'm just letting you. I mean, so I had options, right? I actually asked Mike Gill if he could go, and he had a prior commitment. So I went and I said to my dad, look, it's Masters Sunday. Would you be upset? I mean, and how do you pass up a chance? But when I walked outside today and that wind was blowing and his seats are at the top of 114 and there's no stadium behind him, that wind just comes in off the Jetro lot. Basically, or from the produce terminal and just blows right into you. I mean, some of these April games are cold.
Well, they are. And here's the thing. So Phillies pitching gets off by tossing 17 consecutive innings without a walk. All right. But the 1 through 5 hitters are batting. They're like 10 for 35. They're batting 286.
You see what
3 doubles.
Look what Haskins
3 home runs, 9 RBIs.
Haskins been at the bat 6 times.
Yeah.
Got 4 hits.
Did you see the way he's swinging the bat? He's not taking. He's not over swinging.
No. He's just going right
the
through
ball
it.
where he's hitting the ball where it's pitched. I mean, is that due to the new batting coach?
That's a big part of it. I mean, look, the batting coach fixed Mickey Moniak before he hurt his hand. I mean, to me, Kevin Long is the batting coach is who you're talking about. And I just think the biggest question mark, everything we're talking about here shouldn't be a surprise. Once they signed all these guys, you thought they were going to be able to hit.
We said
to me, the problem was going to be the pitching. And so far, knock on wood, it's been good. And we'll see if that continues today. I think it's Zach Eflin today.
Yeah, now how about this? How about the testiness in baseball the first 2 days? The Mets and the Nationals get into it. The Milwaukee Brewers, I don't know if you guys saw that.
Now, for your friend that's out there, make sure you identify them as the 2-0 Mets, or the 3-0 Mets. They're 3-0. They're in first place.
Jeff Dowling.
Yeah. I don't want Jeff blowing up your phone.
The
Cardinals are 2-0. The Cubs are 2-0.
But but
Who else
we're
is
2-0.
But we're 2-0.
The Mariners are 2-0.
Well,
The
my
Royals
point
are
is,
2-0.
you're sold with two benches empty already,
Yeah.
and it's game 2 and 3.
It's still like preseason.
Right. Because they had an abbreviated spring training. But just goes to prove do you really need all that much spring training? Or you need that much, like they're cutting down the preseason in the NFL?
I think the guys stay in such good shape when the season ends. It's not like 20 years ago, 30 years where guys went on vacation and they were like, oh, a month before the season, I'll start get back in shape. These guys stay in shape 12 months a year.
Alvarado looked pretty good in his one inning that he pitched.
He did.
I thought he pitched well, and of course, Gibson. He went.
I mean, he gave up the run, but
right, but
you know.
I mean, he wasn't.
Gibson struck out.
Here
to
me is the biggest number. The game was played in 2 hours and 37 minutes, so there's none of these 3+ hour affairs anymore with the rules that they've used to sort of speed things up.
Right.
That signal in the hat,
right.
The guy's got it on his wrist. The catcher does. And this is the other thing. He paid attendance yesterday, 41,622.
Awesome.
Saturday.
Holy cow! Well, they had that. They had that many. It was a sellout on Friday's game.
So
And for it being if Billy was a junior, he'd get a free pullover today. But instead, he's got something that looks like Jim Fregosi wore. What year is that?
Did you?
I don't know. It's a nice Philly shirt.
It does say Majestic, so that Fanatics didn't even exist yet. The 90s call.
He just points out all the trivial
the
stuff.
top loading VCR wants that pullover back.
It still fits him.
He's got a VCR in his entertainment center. You're breaking my stones about my Phillies thing. You're 1982.
I put up a picture of Mike Carlin of me watching the Masters on the big TV, and then I put the Phillies on. Like I literally went and brought another TV down into my TV room to have 2 TVs set up. And it was Gil's cousin actually, accurately pointed out, what the hell is that? It was the combo VHS/DVD
in
player.
A television entertainment system. Who even has them anymore? But it's fun watching you guys. It's fun watching the Phillies get off. Now the Oakland Athletics, they're not that good.
That is correct.
They were 86 and 76.
I heard something yesterday on the radio. They had like 10 guys signed off of like non-roster guys. Like they're basically trying to find diamonds in the rough.
But bringing up the thing that they have in the hat. Remember,
the signal thing.
He took it off and he had to adjust it. John Kruk was making fun of it. He said, "Oh, he's got to make an adjustment to maybe he got shocked or something."
I thought the other funny thing, and of course now they have Manco and Manco Pizza up there. I thought the other funny thing was on opening day they took a shot of Ashburn Alley and it looked like the Schuylkill Expressway at rush hour. You couldn't move. And Kruk, who lived in Ocean City for a while, you knew that, right? Yeah. And you knew that. His wife is from the area, but he lived in Ocean City for a while, and he knew exactly. He goes, because Tom McCarthy was sort of at a loss, like, why is it so crowded out there? And Kruk goes, looks just like the Ocean City Boardwalk on a Saturday.
And here's another thing that was a lot of fun. When Hoskins and Segura went back to back, did you see the expression of the faces of the players in the dugout?
Pure joy.
It was pure joy. And you know what? Reese Hoskins made a very astute point after when he was being interviewed. He was talking about their team chemistry, the camaraderie that they have, that they built down there in spring training. And when it's fun, it just spreads like wildfire.
Well, since you so rudely didn't take my text message yesterday, I said 91 wins. You asked for a text message
Josh
on how many
the
wins.
Other side, I have nothing to do with that.
So how many do you predict?
I said 90. If you were listening to this show intently like you said you were, 93.
Okay.
And I said that before the season even started.
Me too.
Okay.
I said it on Tuesday.
Okay.
You ready for me?
Yeah. I think I asked you this a week ago. You said 88, I think, right?
Yeah, 88, 89.
80, you got it.
Yeah.
89 was a good year. That's the year I graduated.
88. But did
Plymouth White March.
Did you guys see Harper get the MVP award?
Yeah. No. I missed that.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
Teary eye.
Yeah.
It meant something to him.
Another thing too about Bryce Harper. He gets interviewed in the.
It meant something to him, and he also said, and I love that you get honest when we suck.
Yeah,
like
there's
somebody that's understanding the fan base. There's so many people. I'm talking to you, Ben Simmons. There's so many people that don't understand the Philly fan base.
So when we get back, we'll talk with Tommy Greene, and I'm really looking forward to this segment each and every week because we can pick his brain about what he sees and get his insights to the to the 2022 Phillies season. All right, the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Of course, Surety Title celebrating 30 years in the industry, and they do a great job. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at rdsautogroup.com at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800. Or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Tommy Greene. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, and Mike Carlin right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey, it's Mike Gill coming up.
Adventure. If you're ready to get back to work or just thinking about changing careers, 97.3 ESPN's virtual job fair is the place to start. Just go to the 97.3 ESPN app and tap on the virtual job fair to find exciting opportunities from
Maurice Piers in Wildwood,
Evolution Gaming in Atlantic City.
Peruse all our exhibitors and learn about opportunities just like you would at a live job fair. Take the first step to a brighter future. Visit 97.3 ESPN's virtual job fair at 973ESPN.com and the 97.3 ESPN app.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, Mike Carlin, and at this time
To answer your question, Mike Carlin, they are home with the Mets.
The Mets, just came up.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Every weekend, every Sunday throughout the baseball season, we have our new segment, On the Mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by
Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. Oh, be quiet over there. Call 609-788-4661 or visit gsfitness.com for your free assessment. Now, we're going to let our guest park because he's trying to get into Lot P. And the guy looks like a walrus. Like, I don't know the Phillies employee's name, but he's been there for like 30 or 40 years. I know you know this guy, right? And the worst thing is, and this used to happen to me all the time, you'd be like in a TV40 van or something like that, or 97.3. It'd be all over the car. And you pull up and you go, yeah, I think I'm on the list. And he's just like, he used to have a paper list, and he'd scroll through and he'd be like, nope,
I don't see it.
Nope. I mean, hopefully our next guest can use his face instead of having to be on the list.
All right, let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene. Good morning, T. Greene.
Good morning, guys. Glad to be with you again.
All right, so I guess you're headed to the ballpark?
Yeah, I pulled over. I couldn't quite get to the lot yet, so I pulled over here at the live casino.
There you go, right on the corner.
All right, T. Greene, the first thing we're going to talk about with you is obviously pitching. The Phillies starting pitching comes out tossing 17 innings without a walk. That's what you need.
I'll tell you what, that's the name of the game. No freebies, So, I mean, don't put any more stress on yourself than you can do. And that's the epitome, I think, of this staff a little bit, is the mentality of especially the starters of pounding the zone, and that's what they've done so far.
Now, T. Greene, a question that I have for you is, as a former starting pitching, when pitchers get to that level, when you especially make a rotation, and I guess it's confidence and ability to throw your stuff inside, but what separates the average from the best? Like what gives them an edge?
Well, I mean, it comes down to the difference between minor league guys and big league guys and established big league guys, and the guys who take the step beyond is all about consistency. The stuff is there. Even the minor league guys have got great stuff. It's all about the consistency of pounding the zone, and it's I don't want to say it's you got to have the mentality of not afraid to being hit. Your job is to pound the zone to make quality pitches. They don't have to be perfect pitches, quality pitches, and let the movement and the life on your ball take care of a lot of things. And it does. And it builds confidence when you're throwing strikes, and think good things happen when you do that.
Tommy Greene with us. And Tommy, you had one of the best pitching coaches of all time in Leo Mazzoni to start off your career. Were you under Johnny Padres too, I believe, right? So tell me how much like this Caleb Cotham can actually influence a staff. And he's young. He's making me feel old. He looks young.
Well, I mean, anybody can have a positive influence on you, and it's a matter of the guys buying into what he's trying to do, and the way he comes about presenting what he sees in each guy. If each guy is a work in progress to try to maintain that consistency of why they got here in the big leagues, to maximize their consistency and give them a better chance to repeat their mechanics and lay eyes on it, because it's not a perfect thing. He's got to know each guy personally and what makes them tick a little bit and what their faults, what they fall into, or their bad habits, and how to correct it and teach them and let them know, and so they can correct it on the fly. I know as a big league pitcher, being, I know at one point, the way the ball reacted out of my hand, especially when I threw a pitch, I sort of figured it out myself what I was doing wrong. And a lot of the times, but a lot of times you can't. And the catcher on the fly can help you do that too. If you're pulling open a little bit, he can give you a signal of stay closed a little bit, stay with him a little longer. That's what Dutch would do me. He would just, as he was throwing the ball back to me, he would point to his left shoulder, and that told me, hey, stay with me a little bit longer. And it helps you get back in sync again a little bit to give you to maximize to throw a better pitch.
It's an easy follow-up question. You're saying Dutch would give you a signal. Tommy, you're old school. What would you have done if they had something in your hat? Would you be like, who the hell's that voice talking to me?
I tell you what, man, it's gone. I want to say it's gone to hell in handbasket. But hey, it's a different world, man, and you got things that can possibly help you. I mean, if you got people trying to, steal signs, it's one of the things that you can do to do that thing. I mean, we had our way of dealing with guys that were trying to steal signs at second base and that type of stuff. We handled it on the field. Yeah. Somebody was getting one high and tight a little bit, or you turned around. I had to turn around one time. I said, "That's enough. I caught you. Hey, there's your warning." So type thing. I mean, that's the way the game was played back then. So, and it's a little bit different now. So I get that, and you use your tools to be better.
Tommy, it's Michael Carlin. Question for you: when it comes to pitching, the mindset. This early in the season, the media and all of us have been building up our offense. We know we're going to score runs, and first two games we're showing we're scoring runs. What's the mindset of a pitcher, maybe not this early in the year or even the middle of the year, of going in knowing, hey, my team's going to score runs? Am I trying to get to the sixth inning? I mean, everybody wants to throw a no-hitter and, all that kind of stuff, but that's not realistic. Do you go in? Do you go in thinking, "Hey, we're going to score at least 4 or 5 runs. I'm going to do my best to keep them to 2," or do you not think like that as a pitcher?
No. I mean, I didn't think like that. I mean, I'm going out there each time to try to, first of all, to keep it simple. The old adage, to KISS, keep it simple, stupid. For me, because everything, if I thought too much, it locked me up. Me and John Vukovich used to say it to me all the time. Forget about everything we talked in the pitcher-catcher meeting. High fastballs, hard sliders, go get them, don't think, type thing. And it made sense to me. I went in there and tried to accomplish what I do well. And if I get into a good groove early, it was game on a lot of the times, they were going to have a rougher day. And to keep the game close, to give our offense a chance to do things. And that's what their job is, go out there and execute pitches, which they've done so far. And our offense have capitalized and showed their power right off the bat. And now it's all about them kind of piecing it together a little bit more, and adding on as the game goes on, like they did in the first game. Yesterday, they hit 3 home runs. Yeah. It was all their runs. Yep. So I'd like to see those base hits keep coming, and manufacture the runs like they did on the first day. I mean, it's hard. I mean, you can't expect them to score 8-9 runs a game. You're going to have those games where good pitching, like the A starter, our ex-guy yesterday, Irvin, and, he ended up pitching, keeping their team in the ballgame. And that's what his job was. It gave them a chance to possibly come back and do some things. And that's, as a starting pitcher, that's what we do. Even if we struggle a little bit early, keep us right there to give that powerful offense a chance to get to that guy or get into their bullpen to change things up.
We're talking with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene. We'll have him every Sunday throughout the baseball season. Of course, Tommy pitched a no-hitter in 1991 against those Montreal Expos. I'll never forget it. But Tina Greene, going off of what Mike Carlin says, having the mental aspect of knowing that you have an offense that's powerful, can score with will, has to give the pitchers an extra added confidence, if you will, because, I mean, I know they can't rely on it. They got to do what they got to do, but having that knowledge that you have a powerful lineup has to help.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, you heard it said online. I think LA said it yesterday. You go out there, them, they got that type of offense. You go out there, it kind of frees you up a little bit. Hey, that don't mean throw it down the middle. I mean, but it gives you a better opportunity to challenge the zone a little bit more. You know, it's the way I instead of trying to hit corners all the time, letting your life or your ball take care of it. You throw into the halves of the plate and letting your ball run to the corner. You know, and it makes the hitter have to make a judgment call and maybe take some authority out of his bat, and you get a weak pop up or a ground ball. And I mean, to me, I learned quickly. You come out of high school striking out of everybody, and you learn you getting pro ball. I just throw 27 pitches a game and have a complete game and get out of there. You know, it's about challenge the zone. And if the hitters want to be aggressive, if I throw a quality pitch, they're going to get themselves out the majority of the time.
Now, today, Zach Eflin is on the hill for the Phils. You know, he was injured last year. What does he need to do? What do you expect from Zach Eflin this year?
I'm expecting the same thing he's really always done, other than his injury side of things. When he made up his mind and basically told the Phillies or the staff that he was going to do what he did, what got him to the big leagues was pound the zone and use that sinker, you know, to force early contact and stuff like that. And if you get strikeouts, you get strikeouts. If he's commanding the zone like that, you know, he's going to get a lot of early outs and keep the pitch counts down, sort of like what Gibson did. You know, it's that type of him and Gibson are going to be, I think, a lot alike. You know, I'm just hoping that he maintains his health and is able to have, because he's got the capability of having that type of year. All depends on, you know, you don't know what a guy's going through during the course of the year, what kind of little bugs and ailments that he does have. We do know he has some knee issues, and hopefully he can keep that under check where it doesn't hurt him. Because if you're hurting a little bit, no matter where it is, it takes something out of you a little bit. You have to battle all the time. I'd like to see him have a healthy year, and that'll turn him loose to do what he does well, and he shows that he can do that.
Well, with a tough National League East this year, with the Mets and the Braves going to be challenging for first place, the Phillies are right there, and a 3-0 start will look mighty fine today. So hopefully
let's hope
we'll get that under the wind. Tommy Greene, we have you all summer long throughout the baseball season for On the Mound with Tommy Greene, brought to you by
GSFitness.com. That's the website for Aaron Bada's Golf and Sports Performance Club. I'll get better at saying that. Tommy Greene, you and I are going to go check this club out together because they got TrackMan, they got Foresight technology, simulators, and then, you know, after they've worked this out and stretched us in sports-specific training, I love the part at the end where they get out that massage gun. I mean, I'm like, the guy's beat me up, and I go, is it time for the massage gun yet? Like, jeezy. So you're going to love it, Tom.
They're going to have a fit when they see my shoulder. Because it ain't there and ain't nothing they can do about it. You know, it's all about this. Hey, I got the Roy McAvoy swing. You know, unfinished follow through. You know, it is what it is. As long as I make solid contact, I got a chance to do something.
All right, Tommy Greene, listen, enjoy the baseball game today. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
You got it, guys. Looking forward to it.
There he is.
All right, Tommy. Take care,
Greene
buddy.
on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. Boy, can he hit a golf ball, right, Pete?
He can stripe it, you know, and here he is saying that he doesn't have 100% in his shoulder, but, you know, he's right. If he can get back and he can move his, like, so much of your legs are in the golf swing.
Yeah.
So much of your legs are in pitching. So it would stand the reason that some of those things translate over, but I'm telling you, when I play golf with the guy, he takes it.
Specimen,
he takes it as seriously as he takes his pro career. So
you
I
pointed
love
that out to me.
Yeah,
he was got. Where was it? November 30th. We got.
You mean when I kicked your ass? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But how serious was he taking that?
As he should. I mean, it's his passion, and he wants to be good at it. And look, he'll play some country music on the cart. You know, he'll have a little barley and hops, a little barley roadie soda.
But he's not going to waste his time.
Yeah.
In his mind, hey, if I'm going to be here for 3-4 hours, I'm going to do the best I can.
All right. First hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection, professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. 30 years in business, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Hey, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Or were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we return, we'll continue with more here. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, Mike Carlin in the locker room on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
But I could, after what he has.
Mac makes me cheese every time. Order dinner delivered on the Chick-fil-A app today. Delivery fee and other restrictions apply. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Take a break from the books and plan your spring break getaway now from Atlantic City International Airport. Create memories to last a lifetime, starting with nonstop flights from Atlantic City to Boston, San Juan, and Miami. Book your low-cost flight today by visiting spirit.com.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Phillies 2-0. Oakland Athletics 0-2. Eflin on the mound today. Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos gets their Silver Slugger awards today.
That is nice, yes. The fans should be in their seats by 12:30, according to the Phillies notes that are just out. For Harper, it's his second career Silver Slugger. He had the first in 2015. And for Castellanos, there's no Llanos in Castellanos.
Castellanos. Isn't there an ELL? Is it Castellanos?
For Nick Castellanos, it's his first. Harper posted an MLB best 1.044 OPS, 35 home runs, and Castellanos had 34 home runs last year. So Corey Knebel picked up his first save as a Philly yesterday, too, by the way. And Kyle Gibson was a big story. I mean, look, this is going to be good. This is their third consecutive day game. You know, yesterday was weird. Another thing we didn't talk about, I think Kyle Gibson might have had a good game because of the shadows. I mean, that doesn't hurt. right? I'm not kidding. They start at 4:00, and the shadow's right over home plate. So both pitchers, and he was talking about that too. The A's pitcher Tommy Greene was talking about that's Cole Irvin, who used to be in the Phillies system. So you're talking about Oakland having like the retreads. Yeah, they took a Phillies retread from the years where we stunk.
Another stat worth noting is the fact that Bryce Harper has reached base safely in 38 consecutive games at Citizens Bank Park, dating back to the 23rd of July.
Yeah, he's got a huge on-base streak going, and to me, this is. I just think that you've got this positive momentum out of the first two games. Find a way to pick this up today and head into this Mets series with a little smoke, with a little juice. The rotation sets up like this. Tomorrow it's Ranger Suarez. Then you've got the return, knock on wood, of Zach Wheeler. So that's the two. Ooh, I might want to go to that Tuesday night game now that I'm thinking about it. Or
Wednesday,
Billy,
3:00. Right, or 1:00.
1:00. Would you rather skip work and go see Scherzer versus Nola?
Businessman special.
It's business persons now. You started the show off by
I got politically correct. PT.
Yeah, well, that's the one you got today. Sorry about that.
So it shall be written.
Oh, God.
So it shall be
All right.
done.
You know what? You can only be.
By the way,
you can only be Yul Brynner if you shave your head.
Spell Nick's last name. Spell that for me, please.
Because you want to Google it to find out.
Spell the last name.
This is teacher against teacher here now.
Castellanos. Castellanos. Do you want
the L's are silent?
The C is silent? R-O-K. R-O-C-K. Do you want me to get the pronunciation out?
I heard Tom. What's his name? McCarthy. He said Castellanos.
Okay, Billy. It's
C-A-S-T-E-L-L.
We gotta move on. Gotta move on.
It's your show. You can call him whatever you want.
How do you say it again?
I say Castellanos. I also say Reese Hoskins. Right?
I'll get off of that. I won't stick to that then.
Yeah.
I'll be.
So you're going to go with Castellanos now?
I guess I will.
Because of my intimidation. Don't listen to me. I'm just a dude in a green shirt.
Last time we had an argument I was reading off the newspaper, and it was like it was a day old.
It was about the luxury tax.
Yeah, it was a luxury tax.
Yeah, and that time you were wrong.
All right, I acquiesce. I'll.
What was the word you used yesterday that I almost fell over? You used some word in the second hour, and even Josh admitted conundrum or something like that, or you used some word that everybody in the studio was like, where did you pull that from?
Because I have a good command of the English language.
Yeah, you don't.
You're a teacher. You're a teacher.
Yeah, you're a teacher. All right. Do you know who the opposing pitcher is today?
Yeah, it's Dalton Jeffries.
Yeah, that would be what happened if Darren Dalton and Greg Jeffries had a kid. Dalton Jeffries. It's 2022, man. Anything's possible.
When we get back on the other side, we're going to talk with the newly inducted.
You going to get this name right?
Yeah.
No, I scared
Bruce Lefkowitz.
Oh, there's the music. Thank God.
Lefkowitz.
Look, the guy's in the Hall of Fame.
He's getting inducted tomorrow night.
Well, he's almost a Hall of Famer.
Are you going, Mike?
I'm going.
All right.
I'll be there.
And then at the bottom of the hour, in celebration of the Masters, in PT's green shirt today with the by the way, I love that logo, that Masters logo.
You can't get that anywhere else.
That's awesome, man.
It is nice.
Can't find that in secondary. You can't go online. I mean,
Gil Caps.
Gil Caps is going to be with
bottom of the hour. Got a lot going on.
Looking forward to it. Author of The Magnificent Mile.
And then we'll get a little Sixers conversation in here.
Got to talk Sixers.
We have to talk Sixers.
I messed up the book name. It's The Magnificent Masters. Better get that right before 11:30.
We all make mistakes, Pete.
He's also
I make them all the time.
Editorial advisor for NBC Golf Channel.
Golf coverage.
Coverage.
Right.
All right. All that and more in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete
Can't
Thompson,
wait.
Mike Carlin on 97.3 ESPN.
Pick Your Trip is back, and the Eagles draft
free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5510 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5510. Enjoy.
With all the sports we have, every time of the year is the best time of the year.
And the crowd just buzzing with excitement.
On 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station.
Red 83!
Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy. What's happening, buddy?
Von Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
Let me off the bench, Coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, Mike Carlin here on 97.3 ESPN. It's a fun Sunday. We got some Phillies baseball. Of course, we have the Sixers, their final regular season game of the year today. And the Big Five is getting ready to induct 5 new players into the Big Five Hall of Fame. Of course, the ceremony is at the Palestra.
Tomorrow night.
It's a basketball mecca. At April 11th at 6 p.m.
We could go. It's $20 at the door.
$20. It's open to the public.
It's a who's who. It will just be those 5 guys, but you'll have guys and women that have been in the Hall of Fame from years back.
Pretty big names.
Sonny Hill, Cheryl Reeve from LaSalle, Ahmad Nivens of St. Joe, Marty Staharski from Temple, Alan Ray. A lot of people know Alan Ray. And former Villanova coach Harry Peretta. Those are the people along with our guests.
Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room, Bruce Lefkowitz. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, Billy. Hey, guys. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Well, I'll tell you what, when Mike Carlin said we had an opportunity to speak with you prior to the your induction into the Big Five Hall of Fame, I said, great get, Mike. Let's bring him on. It's a pretty amazing and a great award great honor to have bestowed upon you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you guys. And, you know, I in my wildest dreams, I never thought something like this would come true. I had a wonderful time at Penn. I'm from New York originally, and I just absorbed all the Big Five history. And, you know, now I'm a shore guy down the shore with Mike, and he's part of the family. So I've certainly come to really, really appreciate how special this opportunity is.
Now, I'm a big sports fan. I grew up in Collingswood. I love the Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, and all the local college teams. Mike and Pete here are a little upset with me in my whole entire life. I've been to the Vet. I've been to Franklin Field.
Spectrum.
I've been to the Spectrum. I've been to
JFK.
Bruce, it's coming. Wait till you hear this.
Wait till you hear this, Bruce. I have never seen a basketball game in the Palestra.
Oh, Bill, we got to fix that next year.
You believe that?
Come down with me next year. We'll go to a Big
All right,
Five
I'm
game
taking you up on it, especially going with a Hall of Famer like you. Absolutely.
Because I tell you, it is, you know, to me, with all due respect to Cameron Indoor and Butler and all that, there is nothing like the Palestra. And while it may not be the same atmosphere as 35 years ago, that building, you know, is just such a cathedral of basketball and has just so many great stories in history. And you walk in and it just smells of college basketball.
That's exactly right. That's what I was telling Bruce. I was telling these guys before we went on air. I said, you know, same thing. When you walk in there, you know you're at somewhere special. You know, right away it hits you. From the time you just walk in and you hear the ball bouncing off the walls and stuff.
I've been in the Palestra because I used to play ice hockey at the class of 23 rink. So I remember a couple times walking over there. The doors were always open. You could just peek and stick your head right in.
Yeah, no security.
There was no security back then.
So Bruce, now we've known each other for a while, and I've always looked at you as a true gentleman, and I always knew you played for Penn. But when I did my homework for this interview, I was like, oh my God, this guy just didn't play for Penn. Like when Harry said that you were going into the Big Five Hall of Fame, I'm thinking, hey, that just doesn't happen to anybody. So I started doing a little homework and I'm like, oh my God, look at these stats. Like from your sophomore year, you're a true basketball player that came in as a freshman, and literally every year you got better. And it wasn't like a point here, point there. You averaged 10.7 rebounds your sophomore year. Then you jumped up to 14.7. Then your senior year, 19-9. You got better every year, and you went to the tournament. I believe your junior and senior year. It looked like you played Memphis and you lost to them, and you lost to North Carolina, but you took a Penn team there by winning the Ivy League. Tell me, you picked Penn for everybody goes to a school for a certain reason. I never asked you this. What was about Penn that made you go there coming from New York? Like if you wanted to be in the Ivy League, you could have went to Cornell, or if you want to stay close to home, you had St. John's. I mean, when you get recruited by that level, you pretty much, I'm not going to say you can pick where you want to go, but I'm sure you had other options. What was it about Penn?
Well, I was lucky enough. I probably heard from over 100 schools. I went to a tiny, small public school in Westchester County. And, I knew that academics was an important thing, but I liked to play ball. And coming from a small school, I sort of had that chip on the shoulder. I loved playing when we'd go down in the city and play against Kenny Smith and Pearl Washington and Walter Berry and John Sally. And, I looked at Penn, the opportunity to get an Ivy League education, to win the tournament, to win the league and go to the tournament every year. And the rich Penn basketball history was really phenomenal. And then you add on to that the Big Five, and that every year you're going to play against Villanova, LaSalle, St. Joe's, and Temple, and the Palestra. We played a national schedule. We traveled throughout the country. And frankly, the coaching staff, again, I think, Fran McCaffrey, Philadelphia legend, White Magic.
White Magic. That's right. I mean, you know that.
White Magic was the guy who found me at 5-star. And then Tommy Crowley, Tom Schneider, and Craig Littlepage was the head coach. And Coach Page was just such a great guy. And, I'll tell the story tomorrow and tell it again. He was responsible for getting Ralph Sampson to Virginia when he was an assistant coach there. He's a Penn alum. And I was the first commit to him as the head coach at Penn. So it's the only two times you'll hear Bruce Lefkowitz and Ralph Sampson.
Bruce Lefkowitz is our guest here on the Maserati, the Mainline Hotline. He's going into the Big Five Hall of Fame tomorrow night at the Palestra. It is open to the public. Tickets are $20 at the door, which is going to be an awesome event. And you're talking about Ralph Sampson there. I was talking to you off the air, and I'll bring it on the air, Bruce, about this picture in this UPenn article that's up on the website right now. Bruce Lefkowitz defends North Carolina freshman, so you're a senior, freshman J.R. Reed during the 1987 men's NCAA Division I basketball tournament. I mean, pictures like that, you just kind of have to sit there and smile and think like, yep, that was me. Yep, I did it.
Pete not only did 20 points that game.
Yeah. Tell me about that story, Bruce.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I mean, as Mike said, we made the tournament twice, my sophomore and senior year, and, we were a 15-16 seed, so you're playing one of the top 4 teams in the country. In 85, it was Keith Lee and William Bedford and Andre Turner and Baskerville Holmes. And, we played them a tight game down in Houston and lost by 10. And then senior year, we drew Carolina, who believed was number 1 in the country. And that was Kenny Smith and Joe Wolf and Popson and Scott Williams and freshman of the year, J.R. Reed. So, for us, it was a great opportunity, great exposure. We played them in the Charlotte Coliseum, sort of like being thrown to the wolves. And I'll never forget, we're doing the pregame press conference. And, they're all talking about this, David and Goliath matchup. And, back then, of course, a 64 had never, beaten a number 1 seed or anything. And I just chimed in with my big mouth and I said, I'm tired of hearing about this David and Goliath matchup. I checked the rosters. We have no one named David, and they have.
All right, great answer. That would have gone viral today. That would be on every Sports Center segment, every CV. I mean, they'd be blowing up people's phones. That's awesome, Bruce. That's a great story.
And I lied because J.R. Reed was pretty much like Goliath. Although in that game it was Steve Bucknall and Kenny Smith who took over in the second half and put us away. But it's a great memory, and it's a privilege to to be able to say you competed against Dean Smith. I mean, again, I look at the Big Five, and the fact that I knew Coach Massimino, Coach Chaney, one of the true gentlemen and legends, just loved my relationship with him. Speedy Morris, the entire Big Five. Dumpf was, of course, an assistant coach at LaSalle when I played. And those were the type of things that I was looking for when I came out of Penn. And, it was just a situation where perfect school for the perfect person. Penn set me up for everything in my life. I owe my life, my wife, my 6 children to the decision to go to Penn. Quick story. When I committed there, I wanted to do something in communications. I always thought I'd be an analyst at some point, but I was told I had a face for radio.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah, us too.
That was a Buck the Bartender line. But I met a guy by the name of Joe Cohen, who was the president of Madison Square Garden Network, and I interned for him for 2 summers. And, to this day, I'm still in close touch with him. He's a friend and a mentor. And, from there, I moved on and met my wife of 34 years at Sports Illustrated. And, as Mike knows, a proud father of quadruplets and twins today. Wow. And that all tracks back
a great family.
to the decision to go to Penn.
Well, I love how you tie that together, too. My wife, my life, my 6 kids. I mean, it rolls right off your tongue. I have to ask you, Bruce, as I listen to you talk, and you mentioned like Speedy Morris and John Shady and all this stuff, but I look at this picture of you guarding J.R. Reed. So the other night, North Carolina has this huge lead in the championship game. What's Bruce thinking at that point, and what's he thinking when ultimately it's Kansas that cuts down the nets?
Well, it's 2 things. When you get in that situation, there's 2 mindsets that can creep in. And, one is playing not to lose, and the other is playing to win. And you never consciously say, gee, I hope we aren't going to lose this thing. But you just had a feeling that you knew Kansas was going to make a run. And I think if they could have stopped that first burst, that they could have survived it. But all of a sudden they start creeping in. Now doubt starts getting in and saying, okay, geez, I better make this next shot. And, unfortunately, a couple of those guys in the backcourt were, 5 for 24. So, again, from the Kansas perspective, because we were more often than not the challenger than the champion, you're sitting there and saying, we can win this. Let's keep doing it. We've been a great team all year long. Again, as silly as it sounds, we went into halftime. It was a 2-point game with North Carolina. And I distinctly remember going, they're not that good. We can beat them. And we only lost by 35. So a lot of
Bruce, it's Michael. So I was thinking back about how the Big Five is still the Big Five today. There was a time, but a lot of people don't know it, but the Big Five coaches, Billy, they had an unwritten rule that if any other school called and wanted like game films,
they didn't share.
There was no sharing.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No sharing between the 5. That's how close. Like when he rambles off,
that's how competitive
that he was. When he rambles off that he was close with the other coaches in the other Big Five, it literally was a true family. Now, when they got on the court, they couldn't stand each other to play, but they had an unwritten rule that we're from Philly and we're going to take care of our Philly teams. And back then, and still not so much today, but back then, you'd be playing against high school that played on your high school team. So you'd have like West Philly, 2 guys, and one guy goes to Temple and one guy goes to St. Joe's, and all of a sudden they're playing each other. But the love.
Well, the Big Five is revered all over the country. I mean, everybody knows about the Big Five, especially in the basketball.
When you think about the coaches that he's naming, think about how they stand up in like legacy kind of thing. I mean, there was a time where it didn't matter. I was in Vegas like 20 years ago. And I remember like yesterday sitting in a sports book, and Villanova was like, say, a 9-point favorite over LaSalle. And the guy was like, oh man, this is a no brainer. LaSalle. I was like, is the game at Villanova or LaSalle? And they were like, no, the Palestra. I was like, if it's at the Palestra, it's going down to the wire. But it never mattered what the records were of each team. What do you think, Bruce?
Well, I think you're totally right. And there's a respect and there's a camaraderie. And it didn't matter whether it was Penn, LaSalle, when Villanova and Temple were top ranked. They knew they were going to be in a war.
Yeah.
There was a respect. There was a relationship between the players and the coaches. As you said, I look back at guys that I've played against over the years. Nate Blackwell and Terrence Stansbury and Granger Hall from Temple. Eddie Pickney, Presley, Harold Jensen from Villanova. All of those guys. And there's a real relationship. I'm still friendly with Chip Greenberg from LaSalle. Larry Koritz was a buddy. I played on a USBL team, the old Philadelphia Aces.
Yeah.
They played out. The Cat House, Jake Nevin Arena. And on that team, interestingly enough, I was looking at the other day, 6 Big Five Hall of Famers, led by Michael Brooks, Ralph Lewis.
Man, was he good. Brooks was so good.
From Villanova, Harold Jensen, Chip Greenberg, and myself. And again, I was a little Ivy League guy from Penn, but they treated me, as an equal, as a teammate, and, at that point, as a minor league professional. And I think it's because of the respect that's earned, in the Big Five games. And back then, there was really nothing like it.
Bruce Lefkowitz is our guest here on the Maserati, the Mainline Hotline, and tomorrow night you will officially be a Big Five Hall of Famer. I want to ask you, Bruce, about the people you're going in with. Sonny Hill, Cheryl Reeve, LaSalle, Ahmad Nivens from St. Joe, Marty Staharski Temple, Alan Ray, Villanova, and then Harry Peretta, the longtime Villanova coach. What does it mean to you to go in with those names, and what can you say about some of those names?
Well, it's interesting because you look back at relationships. I certainly remember Cheryl playing and what she's accomplished in her career. Harry Peretta was a longtime Villanova coach. My sister-in-law, Stephanie Vanderslice Gately, shout out to the Ocean City Vanderslice group, was an All-American and played for Harry. Yeah. So I've actually known Harry for, many, many years. Steph's now an incredibly successful head coach at Fordham. So it's sort of nice that there's that connection. Ahmad and Alan certainly were a lot younger than me. Marty was a little older than me. But I remember watching both of those guys play. And, what can you say? Sonny Hill? Yeah. Sonny Hill is Philadelphia basketball. I mean, to just be associated, to have my name associated with Sonny Hill and sharing this honor with him, he's just the man. I remember back when I was playing, I saw him a couple of years ago down at a Sixers game. And I got to tell you, it was a really proud moment. He introduced me to someone else as one of our fine Philadelphia basketball players. And that really made me feel like, Philadelphia is my second home. And to be part of that history and to share this night with him in particular is something else. I just can't wait to see the outfit that he's going to turn out.
Yeah, you never know with Sonny. I'm looking forward to being with you tomorrow. But when I saw that Sonny Hill was going in too, when I was coming out of junior high, I would go down and play in the Future League and then the Sonny Hill League. And people all around me would be like, why do you drive all the way down an hour and take trains to get? And I say, because that's the only way you're going to get better. You got to play against guys that are better than you to get better. And it paid off for me. But I thank Sonny Hill for all that.
And we'd like to thank you, Bruce Lefkowitz, for joining us here in the locker room prior to your induction into the Big Five Hall of Fame, which will take place tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the 7 at Palestra. And tickets are available to the public. Yeah. Congratulations. We really appreciate it, Bruce.
Hey, thanks, guys. It was really great spending some time with you. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm very honored and humbled.
All right, there he is.
Thanks, Bruce. Bruce
Lefkowitz on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. You said something that is accurate. You want to get better, you got to play better.
You got to play against better.
You got to play against better. How about 34th Street had a great league in the summers at 34th Street in Ocean City?
Yeah.
I mean, they had some great runs there.
You get college guys that would show up. But getting back to Bruce and his family, what we didn't have time to talk about, he comes from and he married into a sports family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, you think about
Vanderslice, right? And then she played for Harry. And
she was Steph was an All-American.
Yeah.
At Villanova. Now she's the head coach of Fordham. His one of his nephews is sitting on the bench for Charlotte, Dutch, who played for Temple.
Right.
Now he's one of the assistant coaches. Cole's pitching at Villanova.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it goes on and on. We could be here. And his one nephew was on the bench for Richmond this year in the tournament.
Now, what did he call Villanova's gym? The Cat House?
The Cat House.
Jake, and he called it Jake. Now it's all corporate, right? I used to call it the Ski Lodge for a while there because I certainly wasn't calling it after that wacko dude that ran the cup, starts with a D. They made a wrestling movie about him. Okay, I'll stop there.
All right. The second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, or experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. So for more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Somers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. When you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston. Of course, Kevin Kelly starting people off. It's a great family atmosphere. All right, my winter watchdog. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep in your mind every time you hear of a storm coming, and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road, or if you're in Florida, you're away for the whole winter. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter wear you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869, or send Debbie an email, debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. When we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, Mike Carlin on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey,
Need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Take a break from the books and plan your spring break getaway now from Atlantic City International Airport. Create memories to last a lifetime, starting with nonstop flights from Atlantic City to Boston, San Juan, and Miami. Book your low-cost flight today by visiting spirit.com.
All right, back here in the locker room, Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, Mike Carlin. With all the excitement of the Phillies and induction for Bruce, we got the we have the
I'm having fun over
we
here.
have the Sixers to talk about. Yeah. Now, Is Joel Embiid going to win the MVP? I just saw a stat that
he certainly made his case last night.
81-82, Moses Malone averaged 31 points a game, and he won the MVP.
I think
now Joel Embiid's averaging 30 points a game.
Yeah. I think up until about March 1st, he was my leader. But I think things have changed just in the last 60 days. And that's what happens with this stupid award. I could give it very easily to him, or very easily it could go to the Joker. No doubt in my mind. Yeah. I mean, he leads. Do you know he leads his team in every category?
Yeah.
Even assists. I mean, they have point guards.
So he's
He
more
has assists than a point guard.
he's more valuable to Utah than Joel Embiid is to the Sixers, because you take Joel Embiid off the Sixers are
terrible.
way below.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that if you take Joker away from
But
Utah,
Murray didn't play all year.
I'm sorry. Why are you saying that he plays for Utah?
What did I say?
It's
Utah?
Denver.
He plays for the Denver Nuggets.
sorry.
And they're best.
But I know you know who the guy is, so I'm not worried about that.
Murray's their big player too.
I
Murray
do that
didn't play.
often. I just kind of have a
Right.
brain
You're
fart.
Billy Malaprop. Yes, that's fine.
He's got to do everything on that team. At least with the Sixers, you do have Harris getting a max contract. I know he's not.
He's not.
But they have more than Denver. He has nobody. He leads in every category: assists, rebounding, scoring, block shots. Every category, one guy.
I mean, what else does Joel have to do to secure the award? Is my question.
Okay, and that's why I said
if he doesn't win it this year,
I would have no problem with him winning. But I think it's going to be very quick, and I think the media, for some reason, is going with him.
All right, Carlin, today you walk in here, you're doom and gloom. I'm still excited about the playoff picture, but obviously when we made the trade, we got rid of Ben Simmons, that whole scenario.
Thank God.
We get in James Harden. I'm ecstatic. The first 5 games, the Sixers are playing out of their minds. They look great. All of a sudden,
what's happening?
The reality is set in that
he missed 8 first half shots last night. Six of his 8.
Right.
Yeah.
He still had 22 and he had 15 assists.
Yeah, he was 5 for 8 in the second half.
Look at his 3 points. What was he, like 2 for 9?
In the beginning, he missed all 4 of his first 3 pointers.
Yeah.
Then in the second half, he was 2 for 9.
How about against the Milwaukee game, Pete? He did the same thing. I think he was 2 for 9 in that game.
I mean, it concerns me that there's not enough there, and that leads to your point. And since Mike does this research, I'll tee him up and say, tell me, Mike, how deep are the Sixers, and is that a concern for you? And if so, why?
It's a huge concern. Okay, when you're playing during the regular season in one game and you're in and out, whether you're home or on the road, you can get away with stuff when you have someone like Embiid who can score 40 points and do stuff.
Right.
When you get into a 7-game series, the whole philosophy changes. You have to be able to use your bench. The problem is we have no bench, and that's going to hurt down the road. So it just literally, the timing was unbelievable. When the NBA came out with a stat, part of the NBA, it was called the deepest teams in the playoffs.
Okay.
The top 10, the Sixers aren't even in the top 10.
Who's the top, or who are the top
You ready?
3? Yeah.
At number 10, Milwaukee, then Atlanta, then Cleveland, then Boston, Minnesota, New Orleans, Miami. Now you start getting to really good teams,
right,
because they should be in. Number 4, Miami. Number 3, Phoenix. Number 2, Memphis. Number 1, Golden State. They're not even in it.
Let's look at the bench. Shake Milton, Korkmaz.
Can I
Paul
just
Reed,
point out
Isaiah
real quick,
Joe.
by the way, can I just point out that Mike Carlin is doing a great job. He learned that's a radio trick. You don't go 1 to 10, you go 10 to 1. He did a nice job there. There you go. I'll give you a little pat on the back. See how I pat people on the
Paul
back?
Millsap, Georges Niang. By the way, he's injured, right?
Bill, you're not going anywhere with them. I'm sorry. You're not going anywhere with them. Okay?
All right.
You're gonna have a hard time in the first round. You may squeak it out, but in the second round, you're gonna be gone.
They better not get Toronto.
Yeah, you better not get Toronto. You better not get Cleveland.
I'm gonna be bummed out. All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by. Thank God the Phillies are playing well.
Yeah.
The second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on the 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. For more information on how to become a member, book a wedding, Go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Somers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan of the class leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at RDS Auto at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800. Or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll go to the Masters and talk with Gil Capps. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, and Mike Carlin right here on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
Coming up on the next edition of Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
But I could, after what...
allergy elimination and Lyme disease, effective treatment of chronic mold, and all food and environmental allergies, and the only clinic in New Jersey to fully treat red meat allergy known as alpha-gal, specializing in allergy elimination, Lyme disease, fertility, autoimmune disorders, adult and childhood ADD, ADHD, learning disabilities, insomnia, headaches, and all types of pain. Contact them today, 856-285-4788 to start feeling better, or visit them online at sjadvancehealth.com.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, Mike Carlin, Phillies baseball, the Masters Sixers basketball tonight. We got it all going on, and now we have another guest, our third one of the day.
I thought we'd go a little mellow for some Gil Capps intro music because, golf is a mellow sport, right? You speak in mellow tones. You don't get too loud, right? You make sure that
Jim Nance going, stroke from,
No, he says, hello, friends. That's what he says. And Gil Capps is my friend. I like to talk to him off the air, and I like to talk to him on the air. So we go to the Maserati, the mainline hotline, and welcome in the author of the Magnificent Masters, the editorial advisor for NBC's golf coverage, and my pal, as I wear my Masters green shirt, who I saw on my national television show yesterday, Gil Capps. Hey, Gil, how are you, sir?
Hello, friends. How's everybody doing up in the South Jersey area?
We're doing good.
It's a little cold for our liking, and that was the storyline yesterday, wasn't it, Gil? I mean, like Tiger's scores were like my birthdays. 71, I was born. 74, I was finally I could eat the cake, and then by 78, I was crying. Right? I mean, Tiger had no field, no hands.
He wasn't the only person, right? That really high scoring average for a Saturday at the Masters. You get those kind of days at Augusta. We've seen years like that, 2007, back in like 1966. So there have been those kind of days. Thankfully, today is supposed to be a little nicer, a little warmer, a little less wind. And I think you're going to see a lot better scoring today. You look at the hole locations that they have for the final round. You'll see, if you watch the Masters every year, there are going to be a lot of familiar ones, a lot of hole locations that where the ball, to quote one of the most famous golf moves of all time, holes where the ball really wants to go find its home. Places like 2, like 7, and then you get on the second 9, 14. That pin location back left down that little hollow at 16. So a lot of places where you don't have to hit perfect golf shots to get your ball close to the hole. And then the par 5s, which have played, especially 15 with a little different hole this year, have played much tougher than years past. All 4 of the par 5s today have more traditional, I wouldn't say maybe on each hole the easiest hole location on those holes, but definitely easier. So a lot of places where you can make birdies today if you get it going, and especially those final holes. It wouldn't be out of the realm where you could have a player today, if not birdie the final 6 holes, at least play the final 6 holes in like 6 under.
Awesome.
The opportunity is there if somebody gets hot. Now, whether or not that's somebody in one of those final few groups, we're going to see, because there are a lot of fascinating storylines there that we have, and players spread out to where we don't have a ton of people in the hunt, but I think you do still have about 8 players who could win this thing today.
Yeah, and everybody seems to think it's Scotty Scheffler's to lose, obviously, because of how he's played. But, I mean, don't sleep on Cameron Smith. And I've seen a lot of people, Gil, who have talked about it being a 2-horse race. But who knows? A guy like Justin Thomas, who's at -1 and tees off at 220. If there is a 63 or a 64 with what you're talking, a more receptive golf course, I mean, I am still shaking my head over like Adam Scott with an 80 yesterday, Bubba Watson with a 78, Patrick Cantlay 79. I mean, look, the golf gods gave us a dream pairing for Sunday. He may not be in the hunt, but we get to watch Tiger Woods and Jon Rahm in the same group together.
Well, that win yesterday is traditionally the toughest at Augusta National, kind of coming out of west northwest, and with the cold and with the way the course is already playing, the pin positions yesterday that may have been the tough pin day as well. So it wasn't a surprise to see high scores, but you're right, Pete. The Masters record is an 8-shot comeback. So you still have some pretty big names right there, like a Justin Thomas, which everybody is looking at. 1 under, he's 8 back, which is that record comeback. But he hasn't got a lot of players between himself and Scheffler, and that's the big difference when you're looking for that one of those big comebacks. Where are you positioned on the leaderboard? Only one player in Masters history outside the top 10 going into Sunday has ever has ever won, and that's Art Wall back in 1959. So you do have, I'm not looking at the leaderboard right now, but I think off the top of my head, I think Thomas is tied for 8th. So he hasn't got a lot of people between he and Scheffler, and all it takes is, he shoots a 66, that's 6 under, and now he's 7 under, and all it takes is Scheffler to not have a very good day, 74. Cam Smith not shooting under par, and he's the guy. And I think he's the big name right there. You look at I hate to equate it. Maybe he's kind of a little bit like the James Harden of golf. He's a guy. He's so talented, but he just has not. He does have one major championship win. He won the PGA 5 years ago. But other than that, his record in majors is abysmal. It's abysmal for a guy of his talent, and who's won 14 times on the PGA Tour. And so we're just waiting for him to break out. So you're like, he's got to have a great Sunday round at some point during one of these majors, especially Augusta National. Is it today? But you're right. Cam Smith is right there, a guy who just came off a Players win, and who is, at this point, he may be the best putter in the world. And then there's Scheffler, which I'll say a word or two about him. A guy who, for a lot of people, probably don't follow golf. He's come out of nowhere, and really probably has, winning 3 times in the last 5 starts on tour. His 3 first wins on the PGA Tour. But his pedigree, he played his first round on the PGA Tour when he was still in Amber in high school. Top-ranked junior player, top-ranked collegian, won the Korn Ferry Tour 2 times. It was that tour's Player of the Year, which is basically AAA golf. And then came on tour, played really well, Rookie of the Year, and got selected to the Ryder Cup last year. People forget. He'd never won on the PGA Tour. Only the second player ever, second American ever selected for a Ryder Cup team that had not won on the PGA Tour. And I think playing on that team and having success and seeing how good he was stacked up against all those other great Americans, the DJs and the Koepkas and the Spieths and the DeChambeaus, et cetera, really gave him a ton of confidence. And that's what a lot of the other top players right now in the game are lacking. They're lacking confidence. Scheffler has breathed in it. He has it all in the game of golf right now. And I have a hard time seeing him playing really poorly today. But that's not to say he doesn't have just a pedestrian round around even par and let some of those other guys get close to him.
Now, I'd be remiss, Gil Capps, author of the Magnificent Masters, if I didn't ask you about a guy that's not there this week, because Mike Carlin, by the way, is a basketball guy. We list him as our basketball guru. He's real passionate about the NBA, college hoops, high school hoops, all that stuff. So he plays golf, but he may not be as geeked out about the Masters as me with my green shirt on. But we did have a conversation, Mike Carlin and I did off the air, about, the guy that's probably so thankful of the Tiger story is Phil. It might have taken some of the heat off of Phil. What's your whole take on Phil? Do you think we'll see him at the PGA? Is he gone in the witness protection program? Like, what's going on there?
It's all rumors and innuendo right now. I think a lot of people in the game are trying to figure it out. Obviously Phil, it'd been a big story in the world of golf. Phil with this Saudi-backed golf league and really being one of the guys who was seemed to be pushing for it behind the scenes, pushing other players, pushing it back in some of the things with the PGA Tour that he didn't like, things he wanted to try to get changed, and then some of the comments that he made publicly, not just kind of once, but several times, that have gotten him in the hot seat. My personal take, Pete and Mike, is that there's more behind the scenes than meets the eye. There wasn't anything in this. We live in a different day and age, right? Where you say something and people are on you right away with social media and this cancel culture. And there wasn't anything that he really said to me that was necessarily something that, Phil should be out of the game or anything like that. But I think there's maybe other stuff happening. And when he says that he needs a prolonged break to straighten some things out, that's a concern for me. And you look just with the issues that Tigers had, you just hope that Phil can get in a good place, with his health, with his mental health, with whatever's happening behind the scenes professionally, personally, with family, and can get all that squared away. Because just like with Tiger, he's given enough to the game. Tiger's given enough to the game. And all personally I hope for is just that those guys can be happy and find a peace with themselves and their family and their lives. And so your guess is as good as mine, Pete, when the next time we'll see him. I mean, Guy, I hope we'll see him at the PGA with what he did last year. To come back and be able to defend his title would be terrific. But we shall see.
And of course, with Tiger Woods getting all the media attention at 46, coming off that car accident, I mean, that's pretty amazing that he's even being able to golf in the Masters this year.
Make the cut. I mean,
yeah,
people didn't think he was going to make the cut.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty gruesome automobile accident he was in.
Billy, from I think if you've been a Tiger observer, and all of us have for a long time, he never gives anything away, right? Everything's always to the vest. And not that he owes us anything, but when you're in the public eye like that, it's kind of hard when you've spent 25 years, speculating on things. The only things you kind of know in your heart are what you see. And I saw Tiger in person back in December. We were down in the Bahamas, the Hero World Challenge. And the Tiger I saw down there in person, the way he looked, the way he acted, the way the man, I do not know now he was able to walk down a flight of stairs. To see that person and then 3 months later, be playing, 4 months later, be playing in the Masters. I'm never shocked at anything Tiger or any great athlete or great person does. But man, that was close. I was shocked that he showed up and has been able to play. Now if he showed up, I'm not shocked that he made the cut. But I'll say this about Tiger. I am slightly concerned because the way I saw him in December, and then the way we saw him, I don't know if you guys were able to watch his Hall of Fame acceptance speech just last month down in Ponte Beach for the World Golf Hall of Fame, which was tremendous. He looked great. He sounded great. But now to see him a month later and to know the pain he's going through, to know his history of pain he's had and what he's had to deal with and public record, what happened, right? DUI on a concoction of pain medication. The things you have seen with him in his golf game, with the time he had the chipping yips, which that just is the first thing I thought of yesterday when he had the putting struggles. Mm-hmm. And to see him kind of maybe physically and even kind of in his face and just the look to Tiger, he's kind of halfway between what I saw in December and what I saw in March. And it's the same thing with Phil. I just want Tiger doesn't owe us anything. Just want him to have peace and be healthy and be there for his kids and his girlfriend and his mom and his family and that's all I want for him. And to see the lengths he went to get back, while a lot of people are haranguing it, and I am too, right? Who doesn't want to see Tiger? I just hope he puts himself first, and he's a different kind of cat. I know he wants to be back. He wants to be at a place like this because he thinks, I know he thinks, just like he did back at the U.S. Open in 2008 that we were there for, doing it on a broken leg. He thought, you know what, this is my one chance to win the U.S. Open at Southern California, my home on this course I know so well. And he thinks out of the Masters. He thinks nowhere to have a better chance to win a golf tournament each year than that place. I'm going to do everything I can to get there. Probably thinks a little bit like that at St. Andrews this year. Probably thinks maybe Southern Hills too, where he won a PGA, which is an approach shot, iron play golf course. And so I know he's probably looking at those things too, but I want Tiger to put himself first and the rest of his life first.
Gosh, Gil, I love listening to you talk and hear to everything you said, including the fact that when he was with that father-son challenge, I don't think that I've seen him happier on a golf course than he was when Charlie, little mini Tiger, was out there doing what he did. Gil Caps, we can't thank you enough for your time. Author of The Magnificent Masters, the editorial advisor for NBC's golf coverage, a man, Billy and Mike, that has forgotten more about golf than most of us will ever learn, and my friend, and he's been our guest on the Maserati of the Mainline Hotline.
Thanks, Gil.
Thanks, Gil.
Thank
we
you very
appreciate
much.
you so much.
As always, thank you guys for making a little time for golf.
All right, there he is, Gil Caps on the Maserati of the Mainline Sports Hotline. The second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club. Talk about golf. Great Bay is an award-winning golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dyke. Or were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees it fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, and Mike Carlin right here on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers basketball tonight on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the 76ers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Joel beyond the arc.
No, it only takes a few seconds of someone texting and driving for things to go terribly wrong. That's why officers are increasing enforcement of texting and driving laws. So put your phone down when driving, or be prepared for the consequences. You drive, you text, you pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Everyone knows that Nature Valley Crunchy Bars are, well, crunchy. What they don't know is that they're also packed with 16 grams of whole grains, ready to help you get out there. Nature Valley, for every adventure.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schwein, Pete Thompson, Mike Carlin. Go Caps, man. He's a wealth of knowledge, isn't he?
I mean, I was just impressed that he pulled the stat out about the guy coming, last guy to win the Masters outside the top 10 was 1948 or something like that.
By the way, I want can you give me one of those shirts?
Not easily. I'd have to go to Augusta to get it.
That's a cool shirt.
It is cool shirt.
Now, Gil pointed out, and the collar's a little bent in this one because it's old like me. Gil pointed out that you could go on Poshmark. Have you ever used Poshmark before?
Never.
So, I mean, that's basically like, worn once, but for this logo,
that's cool.
I absolutely would get something that's.
That logo is cool.
It stands out.
Yeah.
Even though it's little, it stands out.
Well, and you'll hear people like, it's sort of like being in the club. You know what I mean? Like you see somebody wearing Masters gear, the first thing you say to them is, did you go?
Right,
because you can't go to Fanatics, you can't go to Dick's Sporting Goods, you can't go anywhere. There's only one commercial break an hour, right? They used to they cut that down at one point in time. It's just now my girlfriend and her son always laugh at the fake birds. You know that like there was somebody that wrote an article on
tweet that
a lot of that is fake. Yeah. And like there was one thing where two guys that were covering the Masters on one of the blogs put up like their quest for a squirrel. They were trying to just find one actual piece of like wildlife out there. I'm telling you, the Masters is like Disneyland. You never see trash. You never see like candy wrappers. And you love it, Billy, and you love it too, Mike, for the prices. You know how much it costs for a sandwich?
Yeah, like a hot dog is like
buck 50.
Yeah.
Guess what it costs for a beer? $2.
Yeah, nice.
I worked at Disney World, so all right, guys. Hey,
you saw what they were like with the heads off.
How fast did that go flying by?
It was a great show.
It's a great show. It flows.
Time flies when you're having fun, PT.
When you get Bruce Lefkowitz on the show, it's a great show.
Yes. Let's thank Tommy Greene.
Yeah, T.D. Greene every Sunday.
On the Mound.
And Aaron Bada from his Golf Specific Fitness.
Lefkowitz.
Yep.
And, of course, Gil Caps. Thanks, Mike Carlin, for coming in.
Great.
Pete Thompson is always doing a heck of a job. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. I'll see you next week, everybody. Enjoy the Phillies and the Sixers and
Go
the
Phillies.
Masters. Let's go Phillies. Let's go Sixers. We'll see you next week.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Mound.